What did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind.
Welcome to Increase. I'm Alpheus, and it's my mission to help you expand your thinking and elevate your life with knowledge that empowers growth and change. In each episode, we'll dive into powerful ideas across personal development, business strategy, and creative insight. Tools that challenge the status quo and ignite transformation. Whether you're looking to break through in your career, unlock your creative potential, or shift your mindset for great success, you're in the right place. So let's dive in and embark on this journey together. Are you ready to increase your potential? Today, I want to deal with a topic that I'm really excited about. And one of the reasons why I'm excited about it is because it allows you, my listening audience, to truly expand your financial freedom. We're living in a time now, especially it's the holiday season. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. You may watch this later on and it may be a different time, but right now at the time of this recording, we're preparing for Thanksgiving. And this is one of the times where money just seems to be tight, especially if you have children. You're preparing for Christmas, the Black Friday sales, so many different things. And that's just on top of your regular expenses. And so we find many parents are behind the eight ball, if you will, because they are put off today for tomorrow. And so I wanted to share some things with you that I believe is truly going to help you, not so much as the right now, but for your future. Because the life that you want to live now should have started 5 years ago. But that's the topic for another day. So I want to talk about building a financial plan that works best for you. One of the things that I'm learning, especially in this time that we're living in and things that are going on, is that we really and truly don't understand what a financial plan is. And so I want to give you a definition of it, and then we're going to just elaborate a little bit on that. A financial plan is a document detailing a person's financial circumstances, monetary goals, and strategies to achieve them. So in essence, this is your personal business plan, so to speak. So instead of it being a business plan, it's your financial plan that you write out not only just your goals, but how you're going to get there. What are the things that you want to achieve? And here's the key point that I can't stress enough: time stamp. You want to make sure that you have a time stamp on each goal that you are looking to achieve, because there's nothing like having a vision board. There's nothing like setting up, the idea of having a certain level of wealth in store, and then you don't really put yourself on a time crunch, a timestamp, whatever you want to call it. And so I want to give you some practical tools that will truly help you to get there. One of the things that we want to talk about as far as your financial plan is you have to be honest with what's coming in. Not the imaginary number that, you feel like Glassdoor says you should be making, but what is actually coming in. You want to document that. Even though we have a lot of apps, even your bank has an app that will tell you how much is coming into your bank account. You want to write it down, because there's nothing like when you see it on paper. Because on a computer, you can always say it was a glitch, make any kind of excuse. But when you write it down, you are now looking at exactly what is coming in. And then you want to write out what's coming out. What are your expenses? What are you really spending? Because then it is in those numbers and in those writings that you're able to see exactly, are you really enjoying Netflix? I mean, honestly, how much of Netflix are you really watching? How much of Hulu are you really watching? So all of these things is not to bring you to a place of sadness, but to really bring awareness. Bring this really into reality, what is coming in and what is going out. So amidst all of those things, what you want to incorporate into your financial plan is something called an income tracker. Now, I bank with Chase. Many others bank with with many other places, even credit unions, and they may have a built-in income tracker on their app. But if you don't, here are a few apps that they're not sponsoring this episode, but I want to bring them to you because you're my audience. I want you to have all of the information at your fingertips. So the first, especially, and this is for my Apple users, my iOS users, right? So here is an income tracker that you can use. It's called Every Dollar. Now, they have a per month subscription, which is $17.99. They also have one that is for the year that is $79.99. So you can go to their website and download the app, or go to the App Store and download it and see if it's a best fit for you. There's another app called YNAB. They have a free version, free trial, 34-day trial version, so that you can kind of get a feel for it and crunch in the numbers. And then they also have one for the year, a subscription for the year, which is $109, and they have a per month subscription of $14.99. So whichever you so desire, whether you after the 34 days you feel like, hey, this is a good fit for me, I like the user interface, so I'm going to go there. Fine. Then you can determine if you want to go ahead and pay the lump sum for the year and don't worry about it, or you can pay the per month subscription, whichever you so desire. The next is Expensify, and they just have a $36 monthly subscription. And again, these apps are for our iOS user, those of you who have Apple, whether it's on you have an iPhone, an iPad, or even a MacBook, whichever you have. These are apps that you can use to help track your income. And last app that I found is Rocket Money. They have a $6 to $12 monthly subscription, and they also have a free subscription as well. Now, all of these that I'm going to be naming can be found on NerdWallet. I just Googled it because I wanted to know. I wanted to be able to give you some options that you can use in your everyday that is practical. Now, these next apps are for my Android users. This one is called Android Money. Android Money, they do have a free subscription for it, and then they also have one. Then they also have a $3.99 a month subscription. After that, they have One Money. That's the number one, and then Money. They have a free subscription as well. They also have a $1.99 monthly subscription, or the $24.99 premium subscription. Well, it's a little bit more. I won't say premium. Let me take that back. But it's a lifetime pass for $24.99. And then they have a $9.99 premium per month subscription. So I want to read that again because I want to make sure that you understand it. They have a free subscription. Then they have one that is $1.99. And then they have a lifetime pass that is $24.99. And then they also have the premium version, which is $9.99. The final, it's just those two that NerdWallet shared. But any one of those apps that works best for you, totally download it, because you want to load yourself with enough in your toolbox that you're able to truly set yourself up for success. The second point I want to point out is setting SMART financial goals. And SMART is an acronym. The S is specific. And so remember earlier I shared with you, really writing down what comes in, what's going out, and then begin to have that conversation of exactly, what is it that you're actually using versus what you can get rid of for right now. But being more specific is also into what is your specific goal, not just a monetary amount, but what is the true end goal? Are you building a rainy day fund? Are you building a medical fund for, you may be getting closer in retirement? And so you're like, hey, I know what I want to be having come in from my pension or from Social Security or from my investments, but I also want to make sure that I have a little bit more just in case if I need some kind of move-in nurse or a nurse that comes in on occasion to address any kind of sickness or thing that you may have going on. You may even be saving money because your child is getting closer to going to college. They desire to go to college. But whatever it is, you want to be very specific. And in being specific, it truly allows you to keep that thing in the forefront and allows you to have that energy and that vigor to really go out and do what it is that you want to do. Then the next thing is measurable. Not only do you want to just say, I want to have this amount of money by this particular time, but you want to see, is it measurable? Because one of the things that we don't look at is that in the calendar year, there are many holidays that you don't realize that you celebrate. For instance, January has New Year's. Then you go to February, you have um, Valentine's Day. In March, you may celebrate St. Patrick's Day. April, just so on and so forth. And as you begin to look at your financial goal and what it is that you want to meet each month or each quarter, you want to make sure that it is logical, that it makes sense, that it is measurable. That okay, these things are going to happen, but also leaving a clause just in case if something is to happen, that hey, I've said enough in here or I prepared myself enough that I am able to do what I need to do. A is achievable. You need all parties involved. If you're married, you want your spouse to be involved. If you're a single parent, you want to make sure that your children are involved. Why? Because when you go to the store, one of the things my parents used to tell me all the time, never go shopping when you're hungry. And so when you go shopping when you're hungry, you start picking out food that you normally wouldn't get. And so you want to make sure that it is achievable, that the people around you are really supportive, that they see exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve, and that they themselves are there with you, holding you accountable, but also holding themselves accountable, that they're not leading you astray. The last thing or the next thing is the R, which is relevant. You want to make sure that what you are looking at is not something that is just trendy, right? Um, you know, cruises now are trending. The new cars, certain cars are trending. But you want to make sure that what it is that your goal is that you're not going to get bored with it as soon as you get it, right? You want to make sure that you are being not only effective, but efficient. And lastly, time bound. You don't want to give yourself too much time. As a matter of fact, it's always good to set it with a few days, almost like it has you in a chokehold. Why? Because that sense of urgency truly motivates you to move more. It truly pushes you to the limits. It really puts everything on the line. To use kind of like a sports analogy, this is the NFL season, so it's almost like every play is a blitz. When you wake up, it's a blitz. I must achieve it. I have to go after it with full vigor, with full energy. I will not stop until I get it. But you don't want to give yourself too much time. But then wherein you begin to slow off and you begin to slack off and you begin to give yourself excuses. So the time boundness of it truly puts that urgency in your mind, giving you those endorphins to go, I must achieve this at all costs. Now, when you're doing this, you're budgeting to allocate resources wisely. That's truly the whole plan. Of course, things are going to happen, and you're not going to always see everything. But when you're budgeting to allocate certain resources, you must do it wisely. You want to make sure that you're doing everything as informed as possible. Even your emergency funds and your saving strategies, you want to make sure that you're putting those things where your eyes can see them. You want to make sure that they are strategically placed so that you won't allow yourself any kind of wiggle room, because you never know when an emergency is going to happen. You never know when that savings will begin to dwindle down. In previous episodes, I've shared it's not always the major purchases that hurt a person's financial goals. It's truly the small amounts. It's the, this is on sale, or, McDonald's is running a sale. This particular restaurant is running a sale. a discount, or I got a coupon in my email. And so it's those little small amounts that begin to eat away at your savings. So you want to make sure that everything that you're doing, you're very strategic in your movements. Next thing, and the last, one of the next things is you want to make sure that you are managing your debt and managing it to the point of elimination. Because as you are saving, as you are working your strategies, begin to call up some of your bill collectors and see if they could work out a not only a payment arrangement, but sometimes they may even take less than what you owe to settle the debt. And if they'll take less, then by all means pull from your savings to get rid of that debt. That way now you are freeing up even more money later on for the goal that you have in mind. Remember, this is truly about you taking control over your financial destiny. You have it within you to do it. There is nothing that's stopping you other than a plan and a disciplined mind. When you have those two combined together, you're able to achieve the unachievable. You're able to reach heights you never thought possible. You're able to move and meander through your life, not worrying about if you're going to be able to pay your bills and handle this emergency. And this is the purpose of your financial plan. Now, with all things, there must be a start. So you need to emphasize this financial plan and realize that it's not a one size fit all. What works for your coworkers, your friends, or even your family may not always work for you. So, in the initial stages of you creating your financial plan, you want to get as much information as possible. Look at different formats of financial planning. Begin to get some of the pros and cons from those that are using it and that are actually working it and it's effective for them. Because you must understand that in order for you to be successful in this, you have to think on the long game. And if it's something that is achievable now, but is not achievable later, did it really help you? You don't want to take 2 steps forward and 4 steps back, but you want to make sure that you are consistently hitting your marks each and every time. Truly, life is not linear. Life isn't just static and goes straight across, but there are highs and there are lows. And so your financial plan must, in essence, be fluid enough that it keeps you constant even when you have to make necessary changes. Just like in businesses, you always will have those moments where things are going to happen that are out of your control, and that's okay. But in the midst of all of those things, always realize and always know that you are the one that is in control and you can handle whatsoever is come your way. You want to share with those around you not so much as the intricate details of your financial plan, but you want to share with them, hey, I struggle with this. And so when I struggle with this or I call you, I really need you to kind of bring me back into focus. Kind of really bring things into alignment with me. Because as you are also saving and strategically placing your money where it can make money for you, you also want to try to actively look for other ways to bring in more income. Of course, it's going to take you into another tax bracket, but sometimes you got to break a few eggs in order to make an omelet. Remember, stay focused, stay diligent. Incorporate your financial plan in your everyday movement, in your everyday life. Also, while you're incorporating those things in your everyday life, it is not to bring you down, but truly to bring a reminder that you're being responsible. This is what I'm supposed to do because I don't want to ever fall into the place where I truly am in need and don't have it. Another great tip is to pick up financial books. One of the books that I love reading, and I go back to it often, is How the Poor Can Save Capitalism. And it was written by an individual who does tremendously when it comes to finances. And right now his name eludes me, and I may even have to document this in the comment section. Um, thank you. His name is John Hope Bryant, and he's the writer of How the Poor Can Save Capitalism. I myself wrote a book, and in that book, it's an ebook, true enough, and I'm so proud of it because it's a letter that I wrote to my sons, to my children, to everyone who wants to read it. It's family. It's really, in essence, it's family wealth, but it's called generational wealth. But it's truly to the families. It's truly to those who want to gain freedom, and it's a ode to my study of the Vanderbilts and how in 3 generations all of the wealth that they had achieved had dwindled to next to nothing, and now they're nothing more than a family in the pages of history, and we don't see the fullness of the genius of the founders of that particular family. And so I titled it Generational Wealth because I wanted, if anyone else, my children, my family, to understand that wealth wasn't about money and it wasn't about possessions. It was about a mindset. And your financial plan is really about a mindset. How serious you are as it pertains to your financial freedom. How serious are you about achieving your goals, knocking them out of the park? So I want to just say, finally, that what it is that you desire to do, you can do it. You have every bit of the information needed to do it. The thing is, you just got to have that drive. So I want to say thank you for joining me on this episode of Increase. I hope that you've gained some valuable insight and that will help you expand your potential. If you found today's episode inspiring, don't forget to subscribe, share with someone who needs to hear this, and leave a comment in the comment section. Your feedback is valuable and it helps me to grow and it helps me to reach more people just like you. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll dive even deeper into the tools and strategies that can change your life. Until then, keep increasing your potential.